Hello students, I am Aparna Shastri. I am here to deliver the lectures on your textbook, that is NCERT Standard 9. Today our topic is the fundamental unit of life, that is the cell. So the cell is the important topic not only from your syllabus point of view but also it is very important from biological point of view. Now we know that all the living things surrounding us, including plants, animals as well as human beings, are made up of cell. Now these cells, where the word cell is derived from a Latin word cell, which means small rooms. Now these cells were first time observed by scientist Robert Hooke. He was observing a slice of cork under the primitive microscope. He observed a specific shape of structure with the similar kind of compartments. He observed the similarity between these structures and the honeycomb. Now for that purpose, he called that specific structure as cell. Now these cells, in a very simple language, can be defined as structural and functional unit. You can observe these cells in your laboratory by a very simple activity. For that purpose, you will require an onion bulb as well as the simple basic biological laboratory equipment. For that purpose, first of all, peel out the skin or the epidermis of your onion bulb with the help of forceps. Then immediately transfer in a watch glass containing water to prevent the drying out of that peel. Then transfer that small piece of peel on a glass slide, add a drop of water and a drop of coloring agent like safranin. Then add or put a cover slip on it without generating air bubble so that you can observe the clearly. Now you observe it under the microscope and you will observe that a specific kind of structure will be observed having the similar kind of compartments like this. Now this structure is called as cell. In a simple definition, we can call the cell as a basic unit of life. Also we can call it as a structural and functional unit of life. Now why it is called as functional unit of life? Because all the life activities like the intake of nutrients, then digestion of nutrients, excretion of excretory products, cell division or reproduction and respiration, all these essential cellular activities or all these essential biological activities are performed by cell. Now these cells, they form the structural unit also. Structurally we can observe that the cell or the similar functional cell, they constitute the organ, the tissue, then tissue further form the organ then organ system and an individual body. Now these cells, now we are having a very vast knowledge regarding the cell and its functions and the structural details, so that a special branch of cell biology has been developed. Now this cell biology is a branch of biology which deals with the specific study of cell, which include the detailed structural analysis as well as its functional properties. In the development of cell biology, there is a major contribution of the number of scientists with the time period, and also it is more and more clear and vast because of the advanced technologies. Now the cell historical development or the milestones in the historical development of cell and cell biology are the most important, and the first one is of Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke in 1665 for the first time observed the cells, or he discovered the cells when he observed the cork slice under the primitive microscope. In the further event, in the 1674, Antony von Leeuwenhoek with his advanced microscope, he observed the water drops or the live cells in the pond water, and as a result of this, he is also known as father of microbiology. Further, in 1831, Robert Brown discovered the presence of nucleus in the cell. According to this discovery, all the living cells, it consists of nucleus. Purkinje in 1839, he coined the term protoplasm. Now here the protoplasm refers to the liquid portion of the cell that is present within the cell. The major event in the development of cell biology is the discovery or postulating the cell theory. Two different scientists, Schleiden and Schwann, in 1838 1839, they put forth the cell theory. This cell theory postulates that all living things or all plants and animals are made up of cells, and these cells are the basic unit of life. The same cell theory was further expanded by Virchow in 1855. He also added that all the cells, they originate from the previously existing cells. Now all these events or all these structural details were further analyzed with the development of electron microscope in 1940. Now as a result of major contribution of these and even other different scientists, now we are having a detailed ultrastructural studies of cell by cell from all the different living things. Now these, depending on the presence of number of cells in an organism, the organism may be further classified as unicellular and multicellular organisms. Now the organisms which are having a single cell or which are made up of a single cell are called as unicellular organism. Now these unicellular organisms are kind of primitive type of organism. These are mostly microorganisms, and all the different activities are performed by a single cell. Now this single cell is responsible for performing all the activity, and the examples under these are amoeba or even the different kind of bacteria, etc. Now in case of multicellular organism, for example in case of plants, animals and other fungi also, the organism or the body is made up of a number of cells, and there are different organs are developed for the different functions. Now these different organs are organized by a variety of cells. Now when we consider the multicellular organism, not all cells are of different size and shape. So there are different types of cells that are present in different multicellular organisms. So before concluding our today's session, let's have a small recap of our interesting session of cell. Now we have already gone through the basic concepts of cell. Now the cells are the basic units of life, or we can simply say that it is a structural and functional unit of cell. Now in the discovery of the cell and the cell biology, the major contribution of the scientists that are Robert Hooke, then Antony van Leeuwenhoek, then Robert Brown, Purkinje, and the major contribution is of cell theory, that is the Schiller and Schwann. Now we are able to study the ultrastructure of not even the cell but of the cell organelles with the development of electron microscopy. That we have seen already, the difference between the unicellular and multicellular organism. So today that much is enough for today's session.